Hello, my name is f.l.a.g, and I'm the Chairman, President, and CEO of Federation for Law and Government. Please excuse me for the darkness that you can't see me, but I wanted to make sure you saw the screen. So what we want to discuss simply is just paying attention to the screen again, and you will see that we have the focus of an Instagram page. And the Instagram page is dealing with a person who is claiming to be a Moor. And I'm going to go to the top where it says President_Cannon Bey. And he gives you a lot of information as far as how to do the contacts. You have 21 followers, he's following 21 people, you have 100 followers and 12 posts. And so when you listen to the beginning, or you look at the beginning, it says returning to power. And then once you look at that returning to power, which I put it on, the next one here says, and quote, the Europeans has been the custodian over our government and lands. Our ancestors had given them that authority until we woke from a long sleep. I personally give thanks for the protection, upkeep, and development of our land by the Europeans. We're woke now. President Cannon Bey. Now, my issue is that this was brought to my attention, and basically I am on Instagram, and he actually is somebody that I guess I follow and in return, but I do this because, of course, I really could care less as to who's on my page or vice versa, because I believe that one can learn from me and I can learn from them. But when it was brought to my attention that another reason why in Chicago more science does not go anywhere is because we have all these false people, and I mean false people by being just men and women in society and knowing what's right and what's wrong. And one of the major things you find in Chicago is that people who want to be Moors, only thing they want is the tax exemption and to run around talking about what the white man has done. So what I want to do is I just want to quickly go to the first video, okay, that was brought to my attention. The first go to this page. I want you to look. It has 6 likes and 2 comments. I don't care about that part. I just want you to listen to what a president of an organization wants you to hear from. He wants to tell you something subliminally. He doesn't want to speak. He's too busy trying to find other actors and things to say what he's trying to say. So I want you to just listen very carefully to what he is giving.
Time to go, lady. Shut up.
Come on in. Have a seat. Ain't gotta sit. Cause I already know Miss Taylor. Now that I'm 18, I gotta start figuring out where I'm gonna live at. Now I know I only got a year to figure it out, but I got a job and I got some friends, so I think I'll be all right. Right? Sit down, Tasty. Happy birthday. You got me a card.
No, your birth mother reached out, but we couldn't tell you till you turned 18. Contact information's in the envelope. And don't go blaming me. I don't make the laws. These white men, we blame them.
Time to go.
So now you have the opportunity to listen to a video, and you see that the video only talks about how the white man made laws. And so I want to go into the quick statement of how is it that you expect to uplift fallen humanity if you're not teaching the proper things first. We're so busy yelling about racism and so busy held on to that racism that we ourselves are caught in a bind. What I mean by that is that here's a man who's telling you that he is a president of an organization, and instead of talking about more science in political freedom and everything else, he's too busy showing us a video about how the white man made a law. The problem we have is that when we ask these Chicago Moors what political organization they belong to, most of them will tell you my vote don't count. Shows you how ignorant and stupid they are as Black, Negroes, and coloreds, because Moorish science teaches you that you are to be of science and you are to vote accordingly. The second thing is that you have to look at is that here are most blacks vote Democrat. And so when they vote Democrat, they're not reading about all the laws, rules, and regulations that the Democrats have put in play. So for you to be either a card carrying, which most blacks are not, they're just symbolizing, but most blacks vote Democrat, and the Democrats are the ones that have mastered all of these KKK and all these laws that hurt black people only. There are 165 different races and cultures in the city of Chicago alone. And no one but blacks complain every day because they're not thinking of the importance of other things to do other than preach about how the white man has done something wrong, when yet I can get on a CTA bus, I can get on a CTA train, and all I see is black men smoking blunts, black men smoking weed, black men beating up on each other, black people killing each other. And yet you're telling me that you would post a video for a woman in a TV show to tell you that the white man kept from letting her know who her birth parents are, when the major reason why she probably wanted that to occur is to make sure that the child would not know, the child would not come after and find, the child would not seek out. See, we're too busy damaging without thinking. A real president thinks. A real member of real More Science thinks. And as a result, you are alienating More Science. And that's why I don't publicize being a part of the More Science Civil America in the city of Chicago, the county of Cook County, because of stuff like this. I want you to re-listen to this and tell me, how is this helpful to anyone to be able to be a Moor if the only thing you're going to teach is how the white man made a law to keep her from finding out who her birth mother is, when 9 times out of 10, the birth mother wanted to make sure she wouldn't find out. You didn't do your research, and that's the problem. We have all these men running around talking about they're Moors, and yet they don't want to go to school. They don't want to read More Science for what it's worth and study and take on more science and be about true Moorship. And as a result, it's causing pain and suffering. I'm promising you that that's not what I offer. My company has been a part of community and social services, uplifting and following humanity, and that's what we do. So when you go to my Instagram, my Facebook, it may be controversial because it tells you to your face that blacks are dangerous, blacks are a problem, blacks are the enemy to themselves. But at least I'm saying that because why? We can prove it. And yet here it is, a man saying he wants to be a president of an organization. He's calling himself they. And the first thing he publishes is a video on a TV show talking about how the white man made a law when that woman was glad that that law existed. Bad. Now, as you further scroll up, you see, of course, some different things. Now I'm going to go to the second video, okay? And I want you to look. Now, go ahead and listen to this video.
Citizen, but who holds a permanent allegiance to the United States. All you got is a permanent allegiance to the United States. You're not a United States citizen. And people argue with me all the time. I can prove this shit very simply. Chinese, Polish, German, I don't give a fuck what they is, they come here, they become United States citizens, right? Why they ain't gotta pass a law every 20 years for their ass to have to vote, but they gotta pass one every 2 years to vote? You goddamn citizen. They ain't gotta do it for none of them. Why they gotta do it for you every 20 years? Because you ain't no goddamn citizen. Nor could you ever be in United States. That's just simple math right there. Anybody can add up. You go right on in there, every 20 citizen, but who holds a permanent.
Now I want you to tell me, what organization would you follow when the only thing a man can put on his Instagram page is him or his followers cursing and talking about something that I, as a simple man, can say to you, are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Isn't it the Democrat that brought on this law? And it is. You talk about the 20-year law, but you're not doing anything, nor do you have any power behind your words to change things. If you would have said something like, oh, you know, Noble Drew Ali was a Republican and I am too, and according to the all the rules that are on the books that are against the black man, we need to fight that by being Republicans, because Republicans are voting for freedom for everyone. Now, you can say whatever you want to say, but he mentioned every other race of people. And yet the only thing I understand from publication is that the white Democrat, if you want to study, the white Democrat gives the black man pity. That's why in the tunnel with the CTA red line and blue line, when you beg, you see these white people who have pity on you, and they give you a few pennies here and there. Now, I close this with just this simple statement, and that is that word of mouth is what brought this to my attention. Word of mouth is what let me look at this, and I'm embarrassed when I see somebody who's supposed to have some sort of education. I don't care if it's a high school diploma. When you're talking about being the president of an organization, you're not supposed to be publishing rhetoric like this when you have nothing behind it, when all those races of people that you mentioned will tell you you're voting for all these things. You're the one that did not go to the Supreme Court and overturn Dred Scott, because the Democrats are the ones that put it on the books. And it is in the books. It's not no hide some from a nigga put it in a book. It's not hide some from a Moor and we didn't put it in a book. All these simple things that are being stated are destroying Moor science because no one wants to be a real Moor. So anyone who's interested in me teaching the truth, helping you start a business, helping you unite, help you uplift fallen humanity, help do things that are positive in your life instead of walking around selling dope and putting up posts like this, because this is not gonna make it, this is not gonna help you, and I'm sorry and sad to say that this I'm against, and many, many other people are against it. When somebody would tell me that they're supposed to be educated enough to open up an organization as a president, and the only thing he can do is preach rhetoric. When you look up the definition of rhetoric, it is what it is. This man, who probably is a Democrat, voted Democrat, probably a card-carrying Democrat, goes against the first fundamentals of moral science, because moral science, and nowhere will you read where Noble Drew Ali was ever a Democrat. Not in that day and era in time, and surely not in today's era in time, because the question is asked simply of this, $4,000. What did the Democrats do for you since you've been living in the city of Chicago all these years? What have they done? For further information on getting with me, to come to seminars and workshops, just text your name and your email to 1312-488-9630, and I promise you, you'll come to seminars and workshops to help you get on your feet. We have ex-offenders who have jobs. We have ex-offenders who have businesses. Why? Because we're doing it the true and divine Moorish way. I thank you very much for your time, and please have a nice day.